According to Mothers Against Drunk Driving, 800 people are injured in a drunk driving accident every day. On July 5th, 2016, I was involved in a drunk driving accident. I was traveling south on a road that I drove on nearly every day. I topped a small hill and a car attempted to turn onto another road right in front of me. I actually don't remember all of the details about the wreck. I do remember topping the hill and seeing the other car. I remember my boyfriend reaching over to grab me and screaming. I don't remember the actual impact from when we hit. I don't remember the impact forcing me off the road, through a fence, and into a field. I don't remember when my airbags deployed. When we came to a stop, I remember opening my eyes and looking around to see where we were and to see if we were both okay. I asked my boyfriend to help me find my phone so that we could call for help. We climbed out of the car and then my boyfriend told me what had happened. He said that when I saw the other car, I jerked the wheel to try to get out of the way. Sadly, the other man stopped in my lane, right in front of me, so it wasn't possible to dodge him. I hit the side of his car, which spun him around, and I went off the road through a fence. Luckily, we all walked away with minor injuries. I was slammed into the car door, so my arm was pretty bruised up, and my foot was smashed between the gas pedal and the floor of the car, which led to a fractured foot and a year of therapy. My boyfriend was slammed around worse than I was and ended up with a concussion. Our seatbelts and airbags, by the grace of God, saved our lives. The physical injuries weren't half as bad as the mental ones. I couldn't sleep for several days without having nightmares. My car was totaled, so I had to start searching, which is extremely stressful. I was scared to drive for about a month, so my parents had to take me where I needed to go. When I did start driving again, I was afraid to drive after dark, so I made excuses to my friends and family to keep from driving at night. The wreck was over a year ago, and to this day, I refuse to drive on that road. If I'm in the car with someone else driving on that road, I close my eyes and try to block out the wreck. I'm getting better as time goes on, but I still struggle with it. My parents always taught me that there would be consequences for my actions, so I felt some relief on the day of the wreck when the police officer told me that the other driver was driving under the influence and would be arrested. At the scene of the wreck, I didn't see the man very much, but we did run into him at the hospital. He was so drunk he couldn't even stand up by himself, and his eyes were rolled back in his head. He looked pathetic. Later on, I found out that he was released from jail that night with no punishment. I even saw him driving a few days later. He escaped from everything while I suffered the consequences. After doing some research, I learned that many people get away with injuring others while drinking and driving. Drunk driving is a serious problem, and it should be taken more seriously. According to DoSomething.org, teens who get involved with alcohol at a young age are 7 times more likely to be involved in an alcohol-related crash in their lives. Being 18, I see most of the people I went to high school with partying and drinking. They even post things about them drinking and driving. Some of my closest friends post videos of themselves drinking while driving, even after knowing what happened to me. If everyone would choose to encourage one other person to not drink and drive, then the world would be much safer. Just think, next time, it could be you or your family. Please, don't drink and drive.